So from there, I jumped them into an example like this, where they have the same sort of format, but they're having to decide for themselves what is this place that the 21 is really in, I guess. So we know that it's 21, but they'd have to decide what exactly is the place here. So it helps a lot to talk about like what is the, I guess, smaller place that we have here. And so it's the hundreds. So especially for low kids, that was kind of like what they sort of latched onto, as if I have 100 plus 2,000s, I'm going to be trading these in for 2100s. I think for a lot of kids, they eventually, like the way that they grasped onto it was understanding that whatever the smaller place is would be the same. So 2100s divided into 7 groups. 21 divided by 7 gives me 3. And notice that this and this will always be the same. The hundreds are going to stay hundreds when I divide them into groups. 300s, the value of that is 300. So they keep checking by doing 300 times 7 is 2,100. I think this part where they had to come up with these on their own and I wasn't telling them what the place would be right away was definitely challenging for some low kids. But it was also a really cool way to like push the high kids, because the high kids who could tell me right away that this is 2100s, I was able to ask them, like, you know, how do you know that that 2 is going to become some number of, like, how do you know that the 2 is then going to have this value of, I guess, 10 when you're talking about hundreds? And so they'd have to explain to me that 2,000 is worth 20 hundreds, and so 20 hundreds plus the 100 gives you 21 hundreds. Divide by 3 and you have about 3 hundreds in each group. So they did this for a while. This definitely took about a couple periods of practice just to have them comfortable with like not only the actual value of what you get when you divide, but what that looks like as far as the place value of what you have. And then eventually got them to this point where they only had the division problem and they had to just think this sort of thing here. So underline the 72. I think this is 72 thousands. I divide by 12. My answer is 6. And I have to remember that that's still 6 thousands, which is worth 6,000. And again, they're checking with multiplication. So we did a few mad minutes like this. We did a lot of practice on homework with this. And this was definitely like the place where everyone needed to get before they were able to do long division. So another example would be 36. It's really 36 tens. 36 tens divided into 6 groups is 6 tens, or 60. So